I mean, just the soloing.
It's nice.
We're not done yet. It's almost there.
That's good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Good Night.
Good night.
Good night. It's been great. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live. We're back after a week we took off. We had Tuesday Not Live last week, and hopefully you tuned into that. We talked about The Greatest Showman last week, and
which actually it's named after our third place because obviously we're the first two for The Greatest Showman.
Right.
Yeah.
The third greatest
showman.
I just didn't have the same ring, so it's called. He cut off the
they
top.
Really brushed us off.
So how you been, Mike?
I've been really good. Really good. How's your summer going?
It's going great. I love the summertime. It's nice and it finally feels summery. I love it. So
it feels wildly summery, and we're at that place where we're looking at additional insulation prices in the attic. Which my kids are feeling the heat. So yeah,
good,
awesome.
Have you been over to our pool yet?
Oh yes.
I have not been. We live in the same neighborhood.
There's a solid burn here.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I guess today's theme was a little bit of the blues. I didn't realize how blue.
Look at those blue shorts he's got on.
Shorts would be on camera, and also we had a little song that was the blues. That was No Expectations by a group called Bahamas. The guitarist is a phenomenal guitar player. Excellent. And he's from Finnish descent, but he's a Canadian. So you get a whole lot of different culture in there.
Very good. Well, last week my priest group, I have a priest prayer group that every year we take a little mini trip. And last week we were in Bentonville, Arkansas. It was fun.
What was in Bentonville, Arkansas?
Well, I'll tell you what's in Bentonville, Arkansas, the Crystal Bridges Art Museum.
Who was built by one of the Waltons?
Right. I think it was the wife of Sam there. And I hear it's a beautiful museum, but it's closed on Tuesday. So we have a little mini trip. We're there just Monday through Wednesday. And
the outside was beautiful.
It was lovely. But it's always a nice time. And so we usually just go see a couple movies, and it's a good time for us to share in fraternity and be together. And maybe we want to turn that fan off, huh? This is probably causing some noise. I forgot about that. So if you're just turning in, welcome. My name is Father Kent O'Connor. I'm the pastor here at Good Shepherd, and Blue Short Boy is over here.
Blue Short Boy, parishioner. My name is Mike Sheeran, and I have a lovely wife, Sarah, and 3 kids, and we're all parishioners here. And frankly, we love it.
Very good. Well, we welcome everyone. Tonight's topic that we're talking about is we're going to look back this year. Last year at this time, I moved into the rectory.
Yeah, you were, as of the 2nd of last year, here for a day?
Well, so it was a third. So it was the Tuesday. So it was the day before.
So technically, you're still not here a year yet.
Well, it depends on how you're counting. The Tuesday of the week of 4th of July is what I'm counting. So, because I came here on the 3rd, and I remember when I came here, so I came from Our Lady of Unity in Kansas City, Kansas, which was a good assignment. I was there for 9 years. But one of the disadvantages of Our Lady of Unity is that it's in Kansas City, Kansas, and fireworks are legal in Kansas City, Kansas for like 3 days or 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
So it was really, really loud every 3rd and 4th. And it went on to like 10 p.m. or 12 p.m. at night. So my first coming here and sleeping here on July 3rd of last year, I was like, oh,
it's so peaceful.
So peaceful and quiet. So
I really feel my independence from noise.
Right. So those were not my favorite days, and at Our Lady of Unity, because it's also in kind of a valley. Mm-hmm. So then there's extra bouncing off the hills and everything. But anyway, so I've been here a year, so I thought we'd take this opportunity to kind of look back on the year of where we have been together.
Well, happy 1 year.
Well, thank you very much, and it's good to be here. Yeah. I'm glad to be here at Good Shepherd, and so we're kind of going to review there.
So let's start with parish. What has changed within the parish over the last year that you think is of note to our viewers?
What has changed? Well, I think we're the kind of the cardinal rule of when you come into a parish is you don't make any changes in the first year, right?
Okay.
Which does not happen because
life is constant, full of change.
Yeah, you cannot really but mostly for the first year, I've been trying to, as much as possible, just kind of observe and where we are and what we're doing and who we
Understand the
are.
habitat of that is
That's
Good
right.
Shepherd.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
So that's been kind of my whole modus operandi for this first year, is try to figure out who we are and where we're going. And I am still learning. Obviously, I'll be learning for some time of who we are. But I think we're in a parish in transition, and
transition into where?
Well, I don't know exactly. I mean, we're always in transition, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly, but So I think some of the older first generation parishioners have either moved on to other housing, or they have passed on, or whatever. So there's kind of turnover here in the neighborhood. There is some new developments going on, and so there's kind of a change in the neighborhood and who we are as a parish. I'm getting that sense. And then just
new pavement.
We got new pavement. Yes. The Hispanic ministry is a new thing. We're still transitioning into what that all means and who that is. I'm the first pastor here at Good Shepherd who speaks Spanish. Father Jim didn't speak Spanish, although I understand that he's taking some Spanish classes now this summer. So that's great. So that's a change too. So I think that the community is trying to learn what that means to have the pastor who is going between the different communities and trying to. I've said before, but before I do that, also welcome everyone if you're tuning in, and thanks for tuning in. And feel free to ask any questions, or if you've got any comments that you'd like to make from the past year, I'm happy to address them, talk about them, and Michael is here as well to talk about any of those things. But I'm the fourth child of 6, so I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers, and I'm the fourth child. And so I'm kind of a middle child. So we middle children tend to be harmonizers, that we want to bring everyone together. Yeah. And so that's just something that I've always wanted, is let's all get along. So the older community with the younger community, the English community with the Spanish community, I just want everyone to get along and play nice. Yeah. We have to do everything together, but I want everyone to be, respectful.
That's a hard thing, especially when you come, number one, from different cultures.
Sure.
Right? And when many of your parishioners don't speak even the same language.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So part of that, I think, is a natural challenge, especially for people that have been in the parish for a number of years and maybe just are starting to watch this integration happen, even from a distance, right? Because maybe we don't have relationships with people in the other part of the community that are of that other community.
Language, culture.
Yeah. Language, culture, any of those areas. And I think the challenge, if we're looking at Christ was in community with the lepers, in community with the scribes and Pharisees, in community with all of them.
Right.
And the nature of mission is you're constantly being sent into places that are unfamiliar. And sometimes that unfamiliarity can even be at your home parish.
Right.
Like right here.
Yeah.
And so I think the challenge for us is, as parishioners, is really to just be that welcoming presence, be that that group that's waiting, to just say hello and to be welcoming, and even just maybe sharing a donut or whatnot.
Right. And that's something that I've been impressed with just since I arrived here. That welcoming community is certainly part of who Good Shepherd is. And it's really beautiful to see. And I'm also impressed with just the ministries that are going on in the church. There's so many ministries. I think Good Shepherd does the liturgy very beautifully. There's been a great culture there. Excellent lectors, excellent cantors, excellent hospitality ministers. All those pieces really make for a really welcoming and a beautiful celebration of the sacred liturgy. So I've enjoyed that piece. And
sure,
I've had a whole bunch of great events that I've got to go to. If you haven't been to the All Souls event, that is it's November the 2nd, and there is people bring in pictures, and we remember all those who have passed before us, and remember them in our prayers. And so that's a great thing that's happening here at Good Shepherd. And it's pretty unique, not All Souls Day, but just the way it's celebrated here is really quite lovely. Sure. I also enjoyed the fall festival and the Lollapalooza. Those are kind of great
Yeah, it was a roaring
celebration.
good
It
time.
was roaring good time. Those
Yeah.
roaring 20. So all kinds of opportunities that I had to experience here in the parish, I think have been enjoyable. And,
What about the school?
school's been great. You know, I've said it's a great school. Hey, uh, if you've not thought about, and Good Shepherd School isn't for everyone, obviously, but everyone should at least give it some consideration because it's an excellent school. And I love being able to be involved with the school. I love just walking down the hallways and seeing what's going on and just seeing that involvement. And the kids have been so nice to me. They've been very, very welcoming. And
So you have in your, I have to share this.
okay.
This is one of my favorite because, oftentimes a parish priest will have different sort of things in their office. And this is a giant thing of dum-dums, which is good for kids and it's good for the co-host.
There you go.
So we can just start leaving this right here and I'll be working through it as we...
Good. Actually, this was a going away present from my previous parish. So, and all of these disappeared, and so I had to kind of restock it. So yeah, but
well, I appreciate it.
Well, good. But yeah, the kids have been great to me, and I've enjoyed going out on the recess and the playgrounds at recess, and just being involved and walking into the classrooms. And teachers have been very welcoming, and so it's a very welcoming parish. And I try not to disturb when they're doing some serious learning, but I just try to be aware and walk around the hall. I've said this many times, but I love the way this building is built, that my office is right here and I can walk down the hall and I'm in the third grade classroom. And that's awesome. That wasn't the reality in my previous place. There were two different locations. Their church was one place and the school was another place, 1.6 miles away. Yeah. So, and although I still went up there with some frequency, it's not the same of I've
being
got
on campus.
Right. I got 5 minutes. I can just poke my head in. So
yeah. And I think for kids, just being present to them is a big deal.
Yeah. So I enjoy that. We did have a bunch of changes here over the course of the year. It wasn't really intentional, but a bunch of staff changes. So when I came on, Maritza was our our DRE. And I think she started July 1st.
DRE,
Director of Religious Education. Thanks. Okay. I was speaking churchese there for a moment.
Yeah, no worries.
So
she translate that for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So our DRE, and she was great. She started July 1st last year, and if I had started July 3rd last year, so she had like 2 days of seniority on me. And I was really looking forward to working with her. She was very talented, but she took another job in Kansas City, Missouri, and we wished her well. So we've been a bit with transition. So I think that one of the particular challenges this year was our religious education program, just because she left, and then we had Lisette come on, and she was great, but she was, filling in, and it wasn't a permanent solution. But she really did a good job of kind of bridging us through. And so then just recently we hired two people, basically, Miguel Hernandez and Linda McFarland, to take on the religious education program. So
it's exciting.
It is. Miguel has been here a lot. He's going to take a month away. He's been setting a lot of things up. He's from Monterrey, Mexico, and so he's going to be returning home for a month and then come back in August. But he's been doing a whole lot of work getting everything set up. I'm really excited. He's got a lot of good energy and a lot of great ideas, and he's meeting with catechists and getting things set up. And so very excited about that. And then Linda, we're excited about her because she has principal experience, and she works now with student teachers and doing their observation and training. And so I think she's going to be a real asset. One of the things that just kind of got lost a little bit in the transition of losing Maritza and not really having a full-time person here in the position is I think that the teachers felt like they were a little bit left behind and didn't have good support. And so she's going to be really there to help all of our teachers with whatever they need, be that classroom management or some suggestions of how to be more effective teachers and everything. So I'm very excited about this combination of Miguel. And so Miguel's is the main DRE. He's our main position. And then Linda's going to be just real part-time and helping out with teachers. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
So we've got the parish. We've talked about the school.
Well, I haven't finished up my staff thing. So it was one of our staff things.
Hold on. What about the music ministry?
Right. So that's the next one. Yeah. So we lost John Roginski, and he was what a treasure he has been for our parish, and built up a legendary music program. I heard about
Horse and chariot are cast into the
right. Well, that wasn't
sea.
him that sang it. That was Mike Ritzel that sang
Just this last one, but for years.
Was that
for
him?
Years before, he was the
Okay,
one that
he was a horse
sang
and chariot
it,
guy, huh?
If you haven't made it to some of the Holy Thursday and Good Friday celebrations, there are some pretty cool things that go on in there. But I wonder if all of those will carry on with our new person.
I'm not sure. So John was a great build up a legendary music program that I heard about quite a bit before I got here. And so, but now we've got Raffaele Cipriano, who is coming here. He is gone this summer. He is in Italy, but he will be our music director. And he just got his doctorate recently from KU in orchestral conducting. Wow. So he's a very talented young fellow, and he is, and I'm not sure if I got all the details right, but I think he is the conductor for the Overland Park Symphony and then some Philharmonic something or other as well. Wow. And he's going to maintain those things, and I want him to maintain those things because I'm hoping that he'll get some more connections, because that's something that you really need in a music director, and that's something that John did. Is people were attracted to, wanted to come work with the quality that John brought all the time. So he had all kinds of names and people who
wazoo too.
So I'm hoping that the same thing will be true with Raffaele, who is going to hopefully bring in some extra talent. Like he's got someone who's in the Overland Park Orchestra, and we need an oboe for this Sunday. Hey, you want to come over and play for us? And so all kinds of connections there. So we lost John, but I'm excited about what Raffaele is bringing. So John retired. So, and then Sharon Mincher, our school secretary, also retired.
I forgot about that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and Tina's been doing a great job. She's just picking things up real quick. So Sharon really had a great connection with the staff and with the students. Everyone loved seeing her. And so she is also retiring, and we wish her well. So a lot of transitions there. And then, Deacon Nicholas took a job up at Sacred Heart, and we wished him well. And
he's the most recent one.
He's the most recent one, so he just started there yesterday.
And if you didn't know too much about Deacon Nicholas and I actually do a podcast.
That's right. What's the name of that podcast?
It's called The Man Fully Alive Podcast. You can check it out on iTunes or Spotify or any of those. But the content is essentially man fully alive, right? How to be a holy Christian Catholic man in a world that is highly not those things, right?
Right.
And become that fully alive version of yourself. So the concept is to basically simplify and apply the principles of the gospel. But what he was doing here, he was the head of the RCIA program.
That's right. And he taught baptism class, and he was the DRE before Maritza. And so, but yeah, he's been doing the RCA thing.
And just so you know, if any of you out there want to be a part of the RCIA program.
So what's RCIA? What are you talking about?
So sorry, that's you got this twice in one time. So
we're speaking churchese.
RCIA is the Rite of Catholic Initiation for Adults. That's the RCIA. And that program is designed to bring people to know the fullness of the church, and to understand each part of the Mass, each part of the liturgy, each part of the sacraments, and to just really bring these things home, so that when we're talking about the sacraments, when we're talking about spirituality, it's real, it's tangible, and they understand it. And so what my wife has actually been a part of that. And what is so interesting is there's been many Catholics going through it again, just because they've enjoyed getting to know the faith on a deeper level. So this is a very free, way to go through the program and really grow in your faith. If you're just out there and you're wondering, how do I grow in knowledge of my faith? You can check out the RCIA program here, and it's usually on Thursday nights during the school year. But you should give it a go.
Great. So those are the staff changes. And then we had our last staff change, actually more recent than Deacon Nicholas.
Really?
Yes. So Father Nicholas is also with us here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So Father Ashmore
is here as well. Yeah. So as far as I know, he's back at the rectory right now.
Yeah.
So I posted on Facebook earlier that some of the aspects of being a priest are kind of weird, and so living in a rectory.
I have a question. How many of you out there live with your working colleagues?
Right. It's a little bit of a strange setup.
Yeah.
Well, the other strange setup is that so in movement week, which we are in movement week, where all the priests move from one assignment to another assignment, and all has to happen kind of at the same time. So Father Dan moved out. He drove out of the driveway today at 9:30 a.m. And into the driveway at 12:16 p.m. comes Father Ashmore with his mom. So, that just kind of switching there. So, so we wish Father Dan well. He was with us 2 weeks ago, was that, or 3 weeks ago, or whenever it was that he was here.
Yeah, no,
this might be episode 12. It might have
2 weeks. Just 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this might be episode 12 that we are watching. So we'll need to edit that.
That's an episode ago.
Whatever it was.
The other one. He's the non-us.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so Father Ashmore is here, and his official start day is tomorrow. So, but he is moving in today, and he'll be around. So, if you want to meet him, come on by the office. I think he'll be there around the office for some time tomorrow. So, had some staff changes, and I wasn't necessarily planning on doing all those things, but I had been hearing that John was wanting to retire. Maritza came as a bit of a surprise. We also lost Allison, who did our communications piece, and we've kind of divvied up some of her roles, but we're really missing some of the communication piece. And so, if you have any expertise in communication, want to help get the good word about Good Shepherd out, I'd certainly
we'd
love to hear from you. So. But we are doing some of this. So we started this program this year.
I guess we're new.
We're new. We are.
We're only 12 episodes in.
Or however you're counting. Tuesday Night Live. Yeah. So, and then I also do my Sunday summaries, which that came out of a response. So one of the reasons that I don't like to make a whole lot of changes is I want to change really from responding to what I see and responding to the needs. And someone had commented that, they would like to hear. Several people commented that they wanted to hear the homily, they missed it, or they're doing the children's liturgy of the word, and so they can't participate. And so, so I just thought I'd do this brief kind of video about not only the homily, but a little bit about the readings, about the homily, what happened at Mass that weekend. And so I try to do that every week, either Sunday or Monday, as well, talking about.
So if you're not tuning into that one and you're tuning into this one, tune into that one as well, because it's nice to hear from you in the context of here's what's going on in the parish, here's what the liturgy you should take away from. And frankly, if there's a distilled form of holiness that can be injected into your day, especially on a Sunday, it's a good time to do it.
Yeah, it's true. So those are the major changes as far as staff go from the year. So yeah, what have you seen this past year? We'd be happy to know. Please comment there or comment in the comments below on the video. I'm enjoying my time here at Good Shepherd, and I look forward to things that are coming in the next year. So we could talk a little bit about that if we're finished with year one.
Well, I don't know. Was there any personal stuff you want to share?
Any personal stuff?
Any big growth things or new friendships, new relationships, anything?
Well, sure. I mean, I'm building friendships and building relationships with all kinds of new people here. So it's always kind of a combination of professionalism but also personalism too, as a role of a pastor. And so you get to know people. I had a nice dinner with several people on Saturday night. There was a whole group of them there, and that was neat. It's just all these people, these new opportunities that I get to know and get to see. So, I'm meeting a whole lot of people and trying to remember names. And so there's a lot of that. And nothing particularly happening family wise. I do have my first nephew's wedding. My first wedding for a nephew. Let me rephrase that. Yeah. First wedding for a nephew next Friday, and I'm excited about that. Wow. So getting ready for that. I've never done a wedding for a nephew. I've married two of my sisters. Mm-hmm. See, that's one thing that priests can say, I guess. I married my sister, and not once, but twice. So I had a wedding for my older sister back the year after I was ordained, and my younger sister 5 years ago. So
wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So so that's kind of what's going on. So nothing.
I asked you this last week, but I have to know. Do you find that your siblings are eager to come to you for confession, or more like go to somebody else?
Well, I can't actually say if people have come to me for confession.
Touché,
well, I guess
touché.
Yeah. So
the seal of the confessional.
That's right.
It's a
but
big deal.
I could say that I have not gotten really many requests.
A wild amount. Yeah.
From my
Hey,
siblings.
we're all together. How about a group can go?
Right. Nah, no, it doesn't work that way. Yeah.
No.
So, right. So yeah. So plans for next year. I've got some ideas about what we're going to be doing. Part of my So one of the interesting things was Father Dan was already here when I came, and so he actually knew. It's a little bit of an odd situation where the associate knows more than the pastor, right?
Yeah.
So he really was very helpful in learning about what's going on because he'd also been here as a deacon and seminarian, so he knew a lot of people and knew a lot about the Hispanic ministry and everything. But one of my things that I will be doing this year is I will be doing some more kind of training, forming a new priest. So Father Ashmore is just ordained; he's never been in a parish before, so I kind of take that on, and I'm humbled that the bishop felt that because the first pastor is a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not inflating myself, but just my experience with Father Charles and how important that was for me, that the Archbishop trusts me to take a newly ordained priest, and this is going to be a major piece of his, at least for a lot of us. Maybe I won't be. Maybe he'll be able to look past me and everything, but I do take that seriously of trying to be a good pastor for him and help.
A formative part of his life.
Yeah, right. So.
And yeah, hopefully some form of mentor.
Yeah. Right. So that'll be a focus for this year, is trying to help Father Ashmore get on a good foot for priesthood. I'm excited about what we're doing for the fall festival. We're going to do it's getting bigger this year, so we're trying to maintain everything that's been good about the fall festival, but then build on making it even better. And so it's going to be an all-day thing now, but there's going to be kind of part 1 and part 2. And so
I understand that I'm supposed to be doing something.
That's probably true,
but I have no idea what it is, and that's the nature of when you volunteer for too many things.
Right. We also had this great idea we were talking about at the fall festival kind of meeting. We were talking about, I think it's a great idea, and I think we've got one scheduled in August, a backyard party. And here's the idea for this. Backyard, meaning in our backyard, Good Shepherd, right?
Yeah.
And real casual, but kids come play on the playground. We'll get one of those big screens, put on a movie, have a grill out, and
love it.
No cost, because that would be illegal, I think, to show a movie that way. But I think it'd just be a great fun. So grilling out, sitting around, socializing. Great. That's right up your alley, I think.
It is right up my alley.
We're excited about that. So
love movies.
Keep tuned in for our backyard party that we're looking at having. So
I think we should watch The Sandlot. That's the quintessential summer movie.
Maybe so. So looking forward to that. And so plans for the fall festival. Those are some of the big things. And then just trying to work with all the new staff members that we've got, working with Miguel, working with Raffaele. Raffaele doesn't have really any experience in American liturgical music. So that'll be an experience for him. So
that'll be an experience for us.
Right. He was a music director in Italy, but that's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
But he's got skills, and he auditioned with the choir and everything. And I think he was playing the music he didn't even look at the music. Like he heard On Eagle's Wings once, and then he went. So it was amazing. So I didn't get my phone going, but thanks for I can hear Father Kent. Hey, you're hard to hear. So I guess speak up a little bit.
Oh,
thanks, Pat.
Should we crank it a little bit?
I don't know. That's the same level it's always been. So.
What about now?
Well, you're far away. So thanks, Pat. Appreciate it.
Okay.
What about now? Very good. So other plans for the year. I think those are my real foci for now.
The big I know initiative that's going to be coming out is obviously looking at what parish tithing is going to be going forward. We're going to be rolling out, hopefully by the end of the year, some new electronic payment solutions, which are going to be pretty exciting. I'm on the finance committee as well, and the parish needs financial donors. So it's one of those things. The beauty of being in a parish is that as beautiful and wonderful as ours is that it has those spiritual capacities that people call to. And we always like sitting. If you ever walk into the church and you sit on the right side at 8 o'clock mass, at some point you become a different color from all the stained glass. That the sunlight comes in, and it's we really have a beautiful worship space.
We do.
But the nature of having as big and beautiful worship spaces is that just the air conditioning bill alone is sizable.
Right, right.
And so the parish is operating on a deficit right now, and it's important that we solve that as quickly as possible.
Yep, that's
so that we don't deplete our reserve.
Right. And so one of the initiatives that we started, thanks for reminding me about that. So you might have seen it this past Sunday. We were using the screen during the offertory.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that every Sunday Mass, basically, and trying to keep it lighthearted. I was using as the example. Some of you might remember when you went to the movies and you had the trivia slides or whatever before the movie. I always liked those. I kind of missed those. Instead, we get Coca-Cola commercials or whatever.
Yeah,
but
there's always a polar bear.
Right. But so anyway, the idea is to use the slide to kind of help people kind of understand in a gentle way about the financial situation, and then just also taking time to say thank you for that, for giving. And again, I was saying the idea of using the screen kind of gently rather than me talking about money every week.
Yeah,
that seems to be a better solution. So
well, and it's not something that you want to talk about, but the necessity of a parish is it's run entirely by the goodwill of the community.
Absolutely. So
we require it. Please help.
So it's been a great year, and I'm looking forward to another good year. I don't know if there's any more thoughts. I don't see any more comments from the.
It's the summertime.
It is the summer.
Many of you will be watching this after the fact, and thank you for doing so. Please make sure to like and subscribe at the bottom of the video. And
right, we're not getting like any financial benefit, but just it just helps you to stay up with our latest videos. So.
It lets us know that you like and you want us to keep doing them.
Yep, great.
You want to finish in a prayer?
I do. So let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us here today. We thank you for all of those who have been watching this video. We thank you for this mode of evangelization and bringing the good news out to the world. We ask that you would continue to strengthen us. We thank you for the gift of this past year, this ability to be with you. And we ask you would give us the strength and the courage, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding to live faithfully in the year to come. We give all glory to you as we pray, glory be to the Father and to the Son and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. St. Oscar Romero.
Pray for us.
All right. Thanks again for tuning in to Tuesday Night Live. We will see you hopefully next week. And
should we end that stream?
We should end that stream. You want to do it? You can do it. Do it. End it. End it right there. The red button.
All right.
Yep, there.
All right.